Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to call the special meeting of the Board of Directors of the MRGCD to order today. This is a meeting to set the water service charge and water bank lease rates and fees. I'm going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Estella, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jason, I understand our general counsel, primary representative is out of country today.
So, Mr. Chairman, that is correct. Ms. Wiggins is on a much needed vacation out of the country, and sitting next to me is Mr. Joel Holvey. I interact quite a bit with Mr. Holvey in work that he does alongside Ms. Wiggins, and he stands ready to advise myself and the board in our proceedings today. And he is ready to oversee actions both this board meeting and the next.
Thank you. Welcome today. I think we've got at least one new board member since you've been here last. So thank you. Okay, first item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Jason, are there any changes from staff?
Mr. Chairman, no changes to this agenda.
Directors, any changes, additions? Seeing none, could we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that the agenda is approved as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And I'll note for the record, we have 6 board members here today. Mr. Hiron is en route. Water availability report. And it's pretty early in the season, but things look better.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the snow yesterday and it was bright out.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Director Kelly, members of the board. The basin, as Director Kelly or Chair Kelly mentioned, did receive some moisture and some some snow accumulation late last week. I have a few SNOTEL maps and a graph from the NRCS SNOTEL network that monitors snowpack conditions in the basin. The first map shows conditions in each of the basins that are relevant to the Middle Valley water supply as of January 6th. So that was before this most recent storm. At that time, conditions were generally at or below 50% of median. The next map I have shows conditions as of today in those same basins following those storms, and conditions in the 3 upper basins have improved. Most notably in the upper Rio Grande in New Mexico basin, which has increased from 40% of median on January 6th to 53% of median today. So these storms have helped improve conditions slightly, but not enough to bring them close to the average for this time of year. We're still trending below average. The next graph I have shows aggregate snowpack data from the SNOTEL sites in the upper Rio Grande Basin. The green line represents average snowpack conditions by date. The orange line shows 2024 conditions. The blue line shows 2025, and the black is conditions in 2026 so far. Current conditions are similar to last year in this particular basin. But we're well below where we were in 2024, which ultimately in 2024, we did end up getting fairly close to those peak median conditions. And I just show this to everybody here because I think it highlights the point that Chair Kelly was trying to make. There's a lot of uncertainty between now and the end of snow accumulation season. So it could go, a couple of storms could really change what snowpack conditions are. But if we see conditions continue to trend in the way they have been, I think we can expect limited snowpack conditions and or limited water supply conditions in the spring. So the National Weather Service 2-week outlook shows the basin is expected to experience warmer than average temperatures with equal chances for above or below average precipitation. And the graphs I have here are actually the 3-month outlook, which shows we're most likely to experience above average temperatures and below average precipitation. But these outlooks just show probabilities rather than certainties. So they should be viewed with that in mind. These are just probabilities. So to reiterate, there's a great deal of uncertainty regarding snowpack conditions to spring water supply. However, if the basin does not receive significant accumulation in the coming months, spring runoff could be short and relatively small. We do know with certainty that MRGCD will be unable to store any native Rio Grande water for Middle Valley use due to the size of New Mexico's Rio Grande Compact debt. After spring runoff, MRGCD has limited ability to augment naturally occurring flows into the Middle Valley, and there is considerable uncertainty regarding water availability once runoff ends. This summer and fall, MRGCD will be largely dependent on rainfall-driven inflows to meet the needs of Middle Valley farmers and their crops. Without significant rain inflows, water supplies will be limited, and farmers should expect extended periods between irrigation deliveries. New Mexico's cumulative Rio Grande Compact debt at the end of 2024 was 124,000 acre-feet. The official compact accounting for 2025 will not be announced until the Compact Commission meeting in April, but preliminary accounting model runs indicate the debt could increase by approximately 7,500 acre-feet for this year. And that would bring the cumulative total debt to about 132,000 acre-feet. And this concludes my report. I will encourage everyone to pray for snow, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Ann. Directors, any questions? Director Russo-Baca?
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Markin, can you repeat the numbers again, just the final reporting?
For the Rio Grande Compact?
Yes, thank you.
So 2024 ended with 124,000 acre-feet of debt. And we expect, and again, these are preliminary, it could change a little bit, but we expect the final accounting to be somewhere in the realm of 7,500 acre-feet. And that puts us pretty close to 132,000 acre-feet of cumulative debt, or New Mexico's cumulative debt. And I think the state will be here at the next board meeting, and they'll probably be speaking on that.
Okay. Further questions? Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason, you and Pam have recommendations on the water service charge and the water bank lease rates and fees.
Mr. Chairman, that is correct. And I will yield the floor to Ms. Finelli.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, Chair Kelly, members of the board, per state statute, number 7318-8-1, the MRGCD should use a cost of living index to determine the annual adjustment of the water service charges to reflect increased costs of providing irrigation water. The MRGCD has used the 2025 CPI index, which was 3%. This will increase the water service charge by $1.78 per acre, taking the water service charge per acre from $59.25 to $61.03 for water season 2026. This new rate will be billed in November of 2026. And I will let Jason talk about the alternative location rates, because there's admin lease rates and including the water service charge, or in addition to the water service charge.
Thank you, Pam. I have a question to refresh everybody's memory. I believe last year, after freezing the water service charge during the COVID pandemic, we did a pretty big catch up on the water service charge. I forget the exact amount. Somehow I remember $8 per acre. And We also discussed going forward, we would look to the CPI for annual increases instead of leaving it the same and doing a big catch up every 5 years. So this is a continuation of what we discussed a year ago when we did the catch up adjustment.
Chair Kelly, members of the board, you are correct.
Okay, thank you, Pam. And Chris, you knew that because you're paying them anyway, but I wanted to refresh everybody's memory. Jason, we have some other components of this. Please proceed.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, under the draft resolution ending 232, we also take a look at setting the water bank rates. For a short recap on what the water bank is, MRG CD has a water bank. There is an opportunity when the water bank is open for MRG CD constituents who have lands that don't have water rights to be able to petition and be able to get and use water that comes from the water bank. Also housed within the water bank is MRGCD's alternate curtailment, where we allow a landowner to dry a piece of property A, for instance, and then use that water that they dried on property A on property B. The the resolution before you, while it deals with the whole water bank, because of what Ms. Markin explained, that New Mexico is in compact debt, the actual ability to lease water from the MRGCD, that portion of the water bank is unavailable. We cannot do that, and we will not do that as in previous years due to New Mexico standing under the Rio Grande Compact. But what we have allowed and what we recommend that we continue to allow is the alternate curtailment process within the water bank, allowing a property owner to dry a piece of property, say property A that they own, and then use that on property B if it doesn't have a water right. So when the water service charge that we set for the year affects the rate that is set for the water bank, it's the same water rate, although there is an administrative fee in there as well as a lease rate, but those remain unchanged from previous years. Also, this resolution lays all of that out, but materially, we will be looking at raising the water service charge in the water bank, similar to the overall water service charge for the valley.
Thank you. And we have had discussions in the past about pulling out the alternative curtailment locations so that can be addressed without getting into the middle of the water bank policy.
Yeah,
And I understand you and the irrigation committee will be working on that this year.
And Mr. Chairman, that's correct. We actually have something I think that we can begin to propose, but we are working it through Water Council to make sure that what we propose is legal.
Great. Okay, any questions for Jason on the admin fee or the water bank and the fact that the water bank will be closed for this year? Okay, if not, next item is items from the floor. I'll get back to you, Jason. Do we have any members of the audience that want to speak regarding the water bank or the water service charge? Do we have anybody called in? Seeing none, back to you, Jason.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I should have caught this as we move into items 6 and 7. For the record, it is probably most correct to do item 7 first, as it is the adoption of the water service charge, and then do item 6, which is the adoption of the water bank, if for dotting I's and crossing T's purposes.
That's why you have that attorney sitting there next to you, right? Okay, we're going to move on to item 7, consideration and approval of resolution 233 for the adoption of the water bank service charge rate per acre for the 2026 irrigation season, and that'll increase at $1.78 to $61.03 per acre.
Mr. Chair. I apologize. That is the water service charge.
Water service charge, excuse me.
Yes. Yes.
Do we have a motion to do such?
I make the motion.
We have a motion. Director Lopez, second from
Second it.
Director Dunning. Roll call vote, seeing how this is a resolution. Director Sandoval,
Yes.
Director Rusabaka,
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Vice Chair,
Yes.
Director Dunning,
Yes.
Director Lopez.
Yes.
And we note Director Huron is absent. Okay, that passes unanimously. Now we'll move to Resolution M 232 for adoption of the water bank and alternate curtailment location rates for the 2026 irrigation season. We have a motion from Director Sandoval,
Second?
second from Director Rusabaka. Roll call vote again. Director Sandoval,
Yes.
Director Rusabaka,
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Vice Chair,
Yes.
Director Dunning,
Yes.
Director Lopez.
Yes.
Okay, both resolutions pass unanimously. Seeing no further business before the board for this special meeting, we are adjourned.